let's dive in. Let's dive into this.
I'm hungry. I'll write jokes for food. I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it. Hey, what the hell happened to you? Mr.Beast, that's what happened to me.
What we do here is go back.
Going back to the past.
After posting, I got hundreds of messages from former Mr.Beast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment.
Yeah.
You know, just people showing their support or telling their.
So I didn't read that. So not about Chris, but yeah, unfortunately can't speak too much. That's obviously makes sense because he's under NDA. But someone else reached out to you, has more info on it. Very interesting, very interesting. Big thing I can't talk about is just how much other stakeholders had their time and energy wasted. I was asked to get doctors or orgs fired out for working with us. What? Organizations? With us only to pull the rug on them after agreeing to arrangements. This is so... That's just bad business practice. It was quite uncomfortable for me, obviously it is. Imagine you are working for someone and you make all those agreements. I've been on many positions where I've been working with different departments or organizations and so on. And it's even very difficult to even like get in touch with people like that. Because you have to like call this organization up, maybe you're having a meeting, you are discussing details, and essentially you are wasting someone else's time and you're not even paying for it. Because if an organization reaches up to another organization, then an employee there who is getting paid by the company has to use their time and energy from the other work they're doing to talk with you. And if you're just pulling the rug last minute and not, you know, going through with the deal or the partnership or whatever you were agreed to do, then it's you're just wasting the other company, your partner's money basically. And that's not cool, obviously. It was quite, yeah, and it's very uncomfortable for the person working as well. Big reason why I left, but no biggies. But not the biggest. There was just so much I don't know how to say that. Malevolence. That's a difficult word. A hostility within the team. So toxic team basically. They were way too slow to act. One pretty awful team lead in particular. That's always the thing with bigger organizations. Like take any big corporation, like you know, the gaming corporations like Blizzard and so on. They have so many higher ups and managers and, you know, people who are like rock stars basically. Malevolence. Oh, forget about it. English is not my first language, I don't care.
Stories of you know, fake videos or...
Tyler Corkin on the set of saving 100 dogs bought one of the employer's dogs off of them for 10K in a weird power play to see if he could pay someone enough to give up their dog. That's just plain awful or cruel. Because obviously like 10K is a lot of money, so maybe that person is actually like in a bad situation where they need to pay off debt or something like that, and they just pull the trigger, even though it's like very difficult to do. So that's very awful thing to do, to just like have this power play to actually humiliate someone with cash. That's pretty disgusting. Sylvester Stallone, y'all know, when he was super broke before doing Rocky, and he actually had to sell his dog as well. And then later, many years later, well, I don't know if many years later, but after he got like lots of money and stuff like that, and he actually bought his own dog back for like 10 or 20K. So people who have pets really care for their pets, and it's actually pretty disgusting that some people just buy their dog or like pet just for fun. Tyler also forced production to put this dog into the video. The corgi, okay. We could receive the free dog food and pet insurance for life, despite the fact that the dog already had a home and that he was very healthy. That's pretty... That's even, like, this is insanely... Like, is that like a long-term investment? Or what? Or is that just like... very disgusting behavior? I don't know what kind of power play and like other like, is this guy like playing chess? Like, I'm gonna buy this dog for 10K It's a nice dog. Boom, I have a dog, and now I'm gonna get free food for life and insurance. So if the dog lives like 20 years, oh, I'm gonna be making money off this. Oh, nice. I don't know, like what's the play or idea behind that, but that's like pretty scummy. So you have all this money to power play, and then you take a chance from someone else to do that. Okay.
Unsafe practices, toxic.
Wow, there's so much.
Of fake videos or unsafe practice.
In the world's most dangerous trap video with Mac, the reason Mac loses when he does is that was actually the final trap built. There were no other rooms, so Mac purposely took the dive in the last possible moment. That's pretty scummy. Obviously, when the levels end, what else you gonna do when there's no exit in the level? You're eventually just gonna dive into the pit and quit the game, yeah? Work conditions. It is not uncommon to see people sleeping in office because they worked all night. I think there was this rumor or something like that Mr.Beast also sleeps in the office because he works all the time. Which seems pretty ridiculous to me, because even if you have like such a work ethic, it always seems like bullshit to me, because I don't really believe that people are willing to do that, especially when they have so much like options and money and time and all that. Like, why would you want to work 24/7? There's not many people who are willing to do that, to be honest. Maybe there's some exceptions, but there must be something that really drives them, and maybe you don't have like a partner or kids or whatever. Maybe then it's doable, but if you have a family, and I know like Mr.Beast has like a girlfriend or a wife, I haven't really looked into his relationship, so I don't really see how that's like actually possible. It's like the grind mindset. Wake up 4 a.m, take a cold shower, then go for like a 10-mile run, and then you read a book, and then you work, and then you go to the gym, and then you go sleep again like 8 p.m, and then you wake up 4 a.m. again and do everything again. The higher ups routinely mock the idea of work-life balance. Yeah, that's disgusting. I mean, he's obsessed with being viral and famous, so I wouldn't be surprised. Everyone that works there is very aware of how awful the company is for one's mental health and ability to maintain relationships outside of Beast. Yeah, like this work hard, play hard mindset is cancer. It's toxic, and you should not expect people to care about your company or project that much. During COVID, Tyler Culkin routinely made fun of COVID regulations while actively having and transmitting COVID to multiple members of the crew. That's not okay, but that was done in many companies, even like in Estonia and in this country as well, in Europe. Many people are downplaying the dangers of a disease like that, which is actually super crazy. The dangerous conditions of the Amazon show are not new. Also, Amazon is also running a show and not caring much. Well, not to be surprised. Multiple contestants have sent to the hospital on the Olympics video due to the sets being built last second. This is crazy. Like, imagine if someone actually does die.
Practices, toxic workplace.
Without really being able to prove the details, I can say that many of the people who received free hearing aids in NC will have gotten them for free, cheap anyways. That's scummy, that you just boost the numbers. Also can speak to the overall and unprofessionalism of Jimmy, Tyler, James, Warren. Crazy, interesting. We will get into this. That's cool. Oh, and Jimmy being environmentalist with the team trees and team C's is a joke. The dude has a massive carbon footprint. I mean, that's actually quite funny. And it's like, it's like when Leonardo DiCaprio was also, promoting this rainforest, save the rainforests and all that kind of stuff. Then he also used a private jet to fly to those places. It's like this one person creates more carbon footprint than you are going to do in your whole life. This, like, 1 or 2 private jet rides is gonna be heavier damage to the whole environment and so on than you will ever do in your whole life. It's pretty crazy, and it's very difficult to see how much is, I don't know the impact of DiCaprio had, because sometimes things balance out, Like, let's say if DiCaprio rides the plane to all those rainforests, like he does cause lots of carbon footprint, but maybe his message is strong enough to actually outweigh that by if he can affect X amount of people to care about or lessen the carbon footprint, then you could say or argue that maybe his footprint is like footprint is investment to the overall cause. And you could say that about Jimmy as well, but I don't think that he actually, well, he didn't really do too much promotion, or like it wasn't a big deal. There was a couple of live streams and events, or like this how do you say, campaigns to just, you know, plant the trees and the team sees and all that. But like the other video already claimed or news was that he basically in 1,000 days saved like 8 hours of waste being generated, basically like cleaned up 8 hours worth. So not too much, like still good try, but we don't know, we actually even don't know how much was caused by his team and running all this. I wouldn't take that claim too seriously, because he has, to me at least, he has never really said that he cares about environment that much. So if you don't claim to be something, then you shouldn't be really taking account for that. If you say that, hey, let's plant trees, it's for a good cause, then why not, you know? It's good content, and you actually did allow or make like 10,000 or 1 million trees to be planted. You did something, but you never claimed that you actually are not wasting the carbon footprint yourself. So it's actually, I don't see that as a too big of a deal, because you're like not an advocate of this kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Some stuff I heard about the second video is also alarming. A second hand is also alarming. Some stuff about executive after my time. Oh shit, this is bad. Well, this is interesting. Let's see.
I'm not really going to get into those claims because, for one, like, most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think most of that stuff's just been covered with you know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. So I will just tell you, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my people.
Okay, so we're gonna have part 3 as well. Hell yeah! This content just keeps on giving. It keeps on giving. Oh shit.
It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes.
I don't understand. What's with every company having sexual allegations and shit like that? Why can't you have like a normal company? Like, what's going on? Like, why every single company in the States, or I don't know, the big ones, everyone has a problem with like this sexual misconduct? What's going on? I know in the 100 Boys vs Girls video, the video that they fed us boys hours after the girls each time. Oh wow, that's unbalanced. And it really got on our nerves because it became blatantly obvious they wanted the girls to win. Imagine they just starve you. I know that the camera guy who gave the girls the drone was being extremely inappropriate with the girls since I started talking to them after the shoot. Damn, why everyone has to be a creep? Because they can. Yeah, because they can. But it's disgusting. There's some Tokusai thing, alright. Did you see or hear anyone on the production staff acting inappropriately with contestants? Yes, I don't remember his name, but the guy who gave the girl... Yeah, okay, that's we already read. Tony Milk constantly coming into the circle and being very... Okay. Flirtatious with some of the girls, which was weird. I remember hearing girls joking about Stockholm Syndrome. That's, you know, that's like a nervous laugh kind of joke. Given how many of us were sleep deprived and high on pain fumes, it makes sense. That's crazy. That's like, I don't know what kind of like soul torture house Mr.Beast is running there. Hey, this is Dogback. I was DM'd by another contestant in the video that said one of the male employees of the production team was making some girls feel uncomfortable. They told me who it was, but I was wondering if you can corroborate the story. Know the other guy's name? Okay, so there was someone. Nothing particular happened. Was one of the cameramen was caught vaping. Okay, taunting, teasing. That's bad. How can they run a show or like a game show that is so messed up? Some
girls feel uncomfortable. You know, you trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay, that that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Anyway, so
That clip is like pretty creepy, but that situation is also pretty creepy. Like, holy shit.
So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a Mr.Beast video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at Mr.Beast while actually on the registry. He also knows about another portable document format.
If you know, you know.
Who was working at Mr.Beast while actually on the registry.
Was there no background check done, or was it a friend again? Like, how can you hire people like that?
So that's the end. Drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank much caffeine. I only had one iPhone interview she's wearing. So this is also like, frankly, feels like my starts slow. This video starts slow. You know, builds up over time. I'll do the attention thing, say, the ending will blow your mind. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle, but I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. I went from YouTuber guy with a camera to...
Well, that's actually, you can very easily see how the Mr.Beast videos have progressed over the time, and this guy is 100% true, because the videos used to be kind of like more like, I don't know the history of the whole company, but they seem more authentic and, you know, wholesome and shit like that. And now it's like full blown on like reality TV on YouTube. I did watch the latest video about like two-person being 100 days in this kind of nuclear shelter or something like that and surviving for 100 days. At this point, the reason why those allegations and everything is so bad is because no one can actually trust Mr.Beast anymore, so you don't actually know if the contestants were there for 100 days or not. Maybe it was 10 days. Who knows? Nobody really knows. And if you look at those videos, then, you know, you can see people are there for 100 days, but they usually have well-kept hair all the time, and the hair doesn't grow naturally, or you can't really see those transformations that well either. So, is it really 100 days? Really? Could be. The one with the survival people, like, you know, two guys being in the forest, that seemed more authentic to me. But I don't know. I don't know which videos are now realistic and authentic and which ones are not.
The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And
this is very toxic leadership and management, and it shouldn't be there, but it is in many companies, especially like in this creative kind of area. You are getting screen time and all those benefits based on how well someone likes you, so it's not very professional, and it's very common in the creative industry. The whole thing comes down to this fake niceness, basically. And this is what is truly disgusting, but we haven't actually reached the disgusting part yet, so...
I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me, that's fine. I don't like him either, it's okay. Oh, that's so good to say. I don't like Jimmy, I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively.
This is a toxic and disgusting behavior. You should be happy if someone outperforms you. Not because it's necessarily very good feeling. I can understand on a human perspective that if you have like a friend or you do collabs and everything with someone and they just kind of blow up and you're like left out, and this, I can understand why it can feel like bad. But if you're like already the king and you're like very well known and you're very successful already, and you still try to like, you shouldn't try to block anyone ever anyways, but it's like, I can understand why it can feel bad. If you're nice to people and if you support the people around you, and if they succeed and find something better to do, and you support them the whole way, And when they're in the top, they might reach out to you, and you still have very good relationship with that person. Like, you're happy for that person, and they're happy for you if you do something, and you know, maybe they even help you grow. And even if they don't help you grow, then you should just be happy that someone else is, like, you know, they're doing well. So I mean, that's common sense, really. That doesn't really need to be talked about. Like, I can understand if you feel bad a little bit for a short term, like, oh damn, well, he's doing so good, I'm doing kind of shit. But then it's just like, but I mean, this guy actually rocks, so good on him, you know. Or you can be sad for someone leaving your company. Like, if I like, I have an editor, right? And if my editor will tell me that, hey dude, your content kind of sucks and it's boring to edit. So, well, if he will say that, that's rude. But let's say, and he's like, okay, but this other guy offered me a job. Then I will be like, damn dude, you sure about that? Like, we had this good thing going on, so you sure about that? I will be like super upset if my editor will leave and, you know, just, you know. But then you have to understand why the person leaves or changes or, like, you know, does something else.
I could tell that the yes men were, you know, doing well. And
if you have only yes men around you, if no one here, like in my community, wouldn't tell me like, hey, this stream sucked, or that game is super boring to watch, and I will like ban you for that, then that's also like me having the power play. I'm like, Tete comes in here, says Outward was so boring to watch that I fell asleep, and I'm like, you're wrong, I'm gonna ban you now, get out of here, you know. How can I improve? How can the streams be better? If you have a situation in a company, whatever kind of company, where this one guy just decides everything, that's when you have a problem. Eventually it's gonna turn to shit. It doesn't matter what kind of visionary you are. Eventually it's just gonna blow up.
I was, you know, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right, like publicly, and I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how can we just talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, you know, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're gonna kill your career." It's like, I have to, or I'll be sad.
That is very sad, and that goes for everything, because people are, I would say, they are kind of brainwashed into thinking that don't burn your bridges.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is like admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor in the title of it. I can't remember, but.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this.
I mean, this is a very gray area, like right now. This is very, very complicated thing, you know? Well, actually not really, but yes, a little bit, because I've seen those prank videos where they cut people's earphones and then give them like those wireless iPhone iPads or shit like that. Then it's like you never know what kind of value people hold to their stuff, or maybe you just have a. This video was a lot of clips where you're.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, huh? My car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now.
Oh no.
And I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, what?
Holy shit. Oh boy. That is crazy. Imagine having to do that. And I mean, if you don't, I mean, this guy is smart. He is smart in thinking that, like thinking fast, you know.
My car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
But yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me 10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. 10K was supposed to be a down payment. And I can't afford a big flashy new car.
That's the problem with all the Mr.Beast, like the charity work he does to random people, or let's say random people, like this one guy who got like $1 million to spend in like 1 hour, is they make you buy shit that you can't afford. So even if you have 1 milli, you get like a 100k car, you get like a 800k house. That's $1 million well spent, right? Wrong. Because the next thing you can do is when Mr.Beast gets the hell out of your ground, you sell this shit right away. You return the car, you return the house, you're like, uh-oh. Because you cannot maintain that shit. You cannot do that. So when they pack the cameras, you just return the shit if you can. If you can't, you sell. You probably can. Or like, you know, change to a smaller one, do a trade or whatever you do. But you do not keep 1 mil worth of stuff if you are not able to pay rent, or, you know, well, not rent, but the utilities and shit like that. Because when you have a dope big ass car that's gonna shrink like a goose, you ain't gonna keep this shit. You just can't. It's unaffordable.
Does that work at Mr.Beast?
Wait, what did he say?
I ordered a big flashy new car. Does that work at Mr.Beast?
Yeah.
So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he's real. This guy knows. This guy's smart.
Yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up, and one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was I feel really guilty about the way this like shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, like, it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid.
I mean, this guy is like from okay, it's normal speed. He talks so fast that I was actually thinking I have like 1.25 or 1.5. Usually when I watch videos, I'm watching on like added speed. But yeah, this guy seems like very genuine and real, at least from what he's saying, and that is like super nice thing to do. If you would actually step up and see the holes or like the problems in your company, and you just want to help someone else, like, hey, you know, we should get like at least equal pay, or like, you know, this guy should be getting more. Especially that's one of the problems in workplaces is unless you are complaining, no one cares. So make sure that if you're working somewhere and you have the skills, look around all the time. I've switched many jobs over my career or during my career, and always with a like, you know, higher salary. It's because I work 1 year, I look around, I get offered better salary. I work a year, I look around, I get better salary. And I advance very fast. But like this guy is explaining, he had a coworker with a kid, maybe I have been there for like a long time and so on, and they get this starting wage that before they join the company, they get the wage, boom, we shake hands on that. And then we have those 4% increases to match the inflation shit, you know? And you know, we shook hands on that, and you get your 5% and shit like that. Boom, boom, boom. That's a joke. Because if you don't complain, no one cares. And if you do your job and you do it well, you're happy, no one cares. So, look around, get an offer on the table, and then if you like your workplace, you can say, hey, I've been here for a year, I do my job well, can we do something about the salary? They're gonna be like, nah, bruh. And you're like, okay, what if I told you that I got an offer for like 20% price or salary hike? Then they're gonna be, if they like you and if you actually do a good job, they're like, that's solid argument. Yeah, we're gonna match that. And a lot of cases they actually do match that, and you know, so you keep your job, you keep your comfort zone, and you are just staying still, and you just keep you get better salary, right?
And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing. Not to say that he did, but I know I did. You know, you get a little something, you don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to rock the boat. But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
Oh shit, dude. This is crazy. Imagine like doing that. That's why you need a backup plan. Like not everyone can like prepare for that. It is what it is. Oh my god, how can management do that? Of course they can do that because management doesn't care about you. It's so shitty, dude. And this guy feels super bad because like his demands cost another person a job. That's one of the things that you can't like prepare for, and this is like super crazy shit.
Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day, you know? And I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated.
Yeah, of course he was.
He did not want. I said he just wanted to be in the room, you know? And I really regret that. But you know, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good
That's
guy.
good.
I love that guy.
That's good.
He's doing good.
I mean, I'm happy that, you know, the other dude also is doing fine, but, you know, hitting someone else, like, with this kind of guilt is, like, super shitty. And it is what it is. It's not this guy's fault, to be honest. It's like, I feel bad for this guy, for having this situation coming in.
So maybe you feel better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. He's a very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think
that's good.
Whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy?
This is marketing, essentially. There's nothing crazy about that. Charity is marketing. It's easy, it doesn't need any explanation, but charity is marketing, obviously. First, it makes you look good. And second thing, it's tax-free. It's a cheaper marketing alternative, and it makes you look good. That's why whenever you see like you know, there's like some marathons or like shit like that, sports related stuff, and you have like all the banks are like HSCB or whatever bank and Microsoft, and you know, they don't really give a shit about some kind of marathon or stuff like that. No one cares about that. It's just to have your banner there. Oh, we are supporting this event, and it's gonna be broadcasted, and like, I don't know, if you watch any event ever, it's all funded on corporations getting marketing. It's not charity, it's marketing.
If you're gonna do something nice for somebody, and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street, and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video.
That's true, but it's not 100% true, because at least the guy got 10K, right? I'm showing camera in my face every stream, and I'm not getting 10K, right? No, but listen, like, it's a homeless guy. If people see that we figure out where he is, well, punks, this homeless guy better get that 10K and run, right? Where he's gonna go? You just can't get a bloody house for 10K. Nor can he live in a hotel forever, and if you could, it will... I mean, this is actually true, but punks, I think, yeah, I understand what you mean. If someone gives you 10K in cash, and especially when it's in $1 bills, this is a pretty bad situation. This is actually super true. This is actually very true. It's a very valid point, and I didn't think about that. If Mr.Beast gives you in like some very shady neighborhood, gives you 10K, you're gonna be, it's like a death sentence. That's true.
I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, you know, oh, hey, you're crying, that's so good for camera. You know, I'm so glad he's if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, oh, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could, oh, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there.
This is just disgusting, right? It's like the video clip from the last video from Dogpack 404, where he was like literally asking the pizza delivery guy to just like open your mouth, be like gasp. Like this dude was like, dude, like, what is going on, dude? I just want to deliver your pizza, dude. Like, thanks for the money, but whoa.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And
I mean, I think that should, like, I think it should be regulated. I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do that, but okay. This man talking too much, get rid of him. Shinobi, I think you missed the bus, bro. You need to, like, he's an actual former employee of Mr.Beast. So he is actually spilling the real tea. So he's talking about his experience. That's why we're here for. He's talking much, but we are getting the juice, you know? We're getting the juice. This is the shit we want. That's what we want to hear.
if people don't know, that was the second attempt.
Yeah.
The first attempt was on me.
Like I was saying, what can go wrong if you make a person sit in a solitary prison for days? Maybe they go insane. No regulations. Oh, let's see. Let's do like a psychological human experiment, essentially.
What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's gonna be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only.
This is like literally used in prisons. Stanford University prison experiment. Yeah, that was sick. I watched a movie about that as well. That was insane. It was like a bunch of random people were just selected, and half of them were made into prisoners and half of them made into prison guards. And then it basically got so real, people got so insane that the prisoners were actually, you know, getting harmed by the fake police, even though there was no crimes committed, but the police were like acting like they were actual prisoners. Yeah, they started to take it super seriously. It was insane. And you know, in army, in prison, they are using solitary confinement for punishment. So imagine you have, and you are not there for 100 days usually. You're like a day or two, or maybe a week if you're like did something very, very bad. So imagine you're a normal person who has to be in solitary prison for like 100 days.
We have to last like 30. We have like a video.
Oh, you had to last 30 and we have a video. Okay. Some people are not made to have power. Yeah.
Like at first it's gonna be like a luxury vacation. You're gonna have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is gonna be you deciding like what items am I gonna get rid of, you know, today, and it's like the choice. They were like, it's only gonna be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like.
Oh yeah, that's so nice. You know, imagine being in a in an empty room with no internet, no communication, no nothing. You don't even have your pool table anymore. You have nothing. You just have a mattress. Oh, the last 5 days in the company, gonna be super nice. But you get like 10K a day, so that's worth it, right?
Like nothing left. You're the first. It's gonna be like a breeze for most of it, and by the end of it, after 30 days, you're gonna get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day.
I'd sleep through the entire thing, just bumping push-ups and sleep. And how long you gonna do push-ups? You're just gonna do like let's say 100 a day, and then the next a week your muscles are so sore you can't do a single push-up. You have to wait 4 days to do another 100 push-ups because your body is just gonna break down very fast, especially if you don't have nutrition and all that stuff. Then even doing push-ups are not really gonna do anything for your body, because if you're training muscle and you have like some very shit food there, you have no good like protein and stuff like that, then your muscles are not gonna build. So you're just basically breaking yourself for fun. Your whole... Oh, you have Feastables. Yeah, shit, dude. You have Feastables, bro. She was... Hey, dude, you've been here for like 20 days. Here's like a box of Feastables. Have fun. See ya in like 10 days, dude. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games? Or unlimited games but no games?
I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure. They were like, you're gonna be locked in this room and we gotta make sure you're on all the time. We're gonna have cameras on you all the time and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up.
Dude has ADHD or something, he sounds fanatical. Basically what he did was he was asked for an interview with this dog pack guy while they talked about this. And this guy just was like, yeah, let's do that. And then he flew from another state to wherever, like basically they meet. So he was driving with a plane for like, I don't know how many hours, like 8 hours. And he's like full of caffeine. And he's talking about traumatic experience, yeah. So he's sleep deprived, has not that much energy, is like over sugar rate, he's sugar coated and full of caffeine energy, so he's like, you know, very jiggly, but it's you know,
that I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride, and I get there and at first it's fine, and I mean they had just freshly painted the set, you could smell it, you know. Which that's probably not good, you know. The
it's not good.
Paint
It's not good.
Surroundings for the next XYZ time.
Yeah, it's not good.
It looked good on the visual. Like the key looks good on camera. You know, it's movie magic bullshit.
Yeah.
It was a terrible facility. I mean, he was in one of the studios. They had to like get like a separate like tank for, you know, septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Like things were cool and funny on paper.
This shit is exactly what US thinks is like super cool and fun. I don't know why, but like at least in Europe we don't have this kind of shit. At least I don't know about that. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But it's like whenever you see a US kind of like reality TV, it's always doesn't matter what it is. It's Pimp My Ride. It's like this home renovating, you know, where they, you know, destruct your house and build a new one. It's always the most hype shit is like, oh, whoa, shit, we have, oh, wow, we have like a vending machine. Oh, we have an ice cream machine. Oh, we made a car and now your car has like a trunk has made for like a cottage, cottage cheese, doesn't care. Yeah, this now it sells EA. Oh, it's Yay, doesn't matter, EA does the same shit. But it's like, yes, let's do that. Let's have this and that. And ice cream machine, bathtub. Holy shit, like, and the arcade machine, that is so dope, that's so cool, you know? Cringe.
But when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink.
Yeah, dude.
And the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes. On, and off, reeking of smelly dairy, mildew. Like, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good.
Sounds good on paper, but it's not good.
The little thing started to build up, you know, there was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor, and like at first it was fine, you know, and you're playing it up, like, cause you know it's a video.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where like, they weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we like have like nighttime hours? You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw.
Also, they have cameras that can just, you know, the night vision camera thing, you know what I'm saying? That's just bad production. But yeah, it's like, when you are in those kind of competitions or challenges, then you're in your head, you think you're safe, because it should be safe, right? But it's like a horror movie, actually. It seems pretty crazy. They do have a night vision thing. They used it before. Yeah, exactly. So it was maybe a lie, or it's just very inhumane thing to do to your contestant or friend.
You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock.
This is like a nightmare fuel.
I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and
Yeah, because the brain needs like the visual indicators where it goes dark, so you know your body knows that you need to sleep. So if they are making you this casino kind of environment where you have not even no clocks and you don't know what time it is, which is actually like a psychological torture in a way, it's pretty bad because they use that in casinos as well. There's no clocks in casinos, so you wouldn't know what time it is. From when I watched the video, it kind of seems like the guy they hated this guy. I'm pretty sure they did. Melatonin is created by darkness.
I have insomnia problems now, but they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime.
That's torture. That's literally torture, dude. There's nothing to explain. That's torture and inhumane. You should know what it like. This guy could probably like sue them and like, well, could have sued them. And I don't know if he did, but well, I don't know if it's a war crime, but it could be. But I don't know. I don't know too much about war crimes, but it's torture for sure.
We're not allowed to do that to terror.
Oh, yes. The United Nations considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture, like I said, and a war crime under the Geneva Convention.
Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute.
Which is pretty messed up, isn't it? It's super messed up. Holy shit, dude. I don't even know what to say. I know what to say. I know it's messed up. And imagine you have a friend and you're like, hey dude, we're running this stuff. You wanna come in here? You know, we have a challenge, you know, it's gonna be fun and you're gonna have like a hot tub and it's gonna be, you know, a pretty difficult challenge, but you know, it is what it is, dude. And then it's like, you're going to be forgotten about in a locked up cell with a stinking bathtub and a stinking dairy machine. And someone is gonna check on you once a day for 1 hour. It's pretty, like, how can you do that to someone?
Sometimes he'd have a note with the director over the phone. That would really piss me off.
Holy shit, dude. You have a friend or like a close person there doing the challenge and you don't even like, oh, I'm too busy, you know. I'm just keeping a prisoner, but you know, I have a warden, so it's all good. It's all Gucci. I have a warden.
Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
Holy shit. Come on now. You just show a camera to your friend's face and you're like, please beg for mercy. Well, don't do that. Not in this video. Later. We need that for like crying for later. Right now, I want you to say how thankful you are. Yeah, do that. Be thankful. You know, get on your knees, say thank you, and tell everyone how you enjoy being in prison because you get money, not for free.
You know how hard it was to do a take of that and pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. Oh, you want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage.
This is like next level torture games right there.
And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it.
What else you gonna do? What else you gonna do? Say no? Piss off, dude? I ain't gonna say that shit to the camera. Then he's like, oh wait, I probably didn't even like have a contractor. I don't know. It's like, all right, you're not gonna say that. Right. Then we're gonna take away the pool. Oh, you don't want the pool anyways. All right, what else do we have? Oh, you have a pillow. We're gonna take that away then.
I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life.
This is like super gross.
I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. You know, so I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming. So I'm...
You know, this is like work ethic. Like he knows he has to do this and pull through, but he just can't kind of cope with the idea that he's being exploited like very heavily. And even like he understands that he's being exploited to hell, but it's just like, you know, you need to get the job done and you're just like crazy.
If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one?
A good point, dude. That's a good point. Why does this guy need to eat shit like that? Seriously. If you're faking every other video where you have like 500 days in desert, but that actually was like a weekend at just like sandbox or beach, then why can't they just like do this for that guy? Like, do you really hate this guy? Why? Just because he doesn't agree that your idea was shit? Come on, dude.
You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off?
Yeah, dude.
How come we couldn't maybe not have some time lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes!
Imagine the challenge is so bad you're actually trying to escape. Like, non-ironically, like, it's not a bit, it's not for content, you actually try to escape this prison, it's literal prison, and you try to escape because everyone in school is bullying you. Yeah, it's like, yeah, like the whole team is bullying you, and you literally are so depressed, you're so, like, out of it that you need to escape. You know it's bad, right? And people just laugh. You're like, guys, turn the light off, like, it's very shitty to sleep, like, you can't sleep, I'm sleep deprived. And people just laugh, like, you know, probably.
Since we're doing time-lapse shots, and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we're gonna do time-lapse shots back. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in, or this footage is unusable, and then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it, you know, fucking, you know, don't put that, don't, hey, we can torture him, don't you dare let him get a plug in there, you know?
That's what I was talking about. Like, you should be like, this is beyond everything anyways. This is insane in the membrane. We are not gonna take this, but like, if you go back a few notches about this story, having this kind of mindset that everyone around you should be like smaller than you, and if anyone dares to try to be better than you, then they should be eliminated. It's disgusting behavior for a person.
Like, we were playing up the joke, you know, it's like, oh, I'm the boy in the cage, you know, whatever. Like, I'll play into a joke, whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that, one of those hide and seek videos. Again, you know, at the time, they were a lot realer. So I got caught, and when you get caught, you know, you go to the place where you get caught. And
prison. Yeah. Nice way to say. When you get caught, you go to the place where people go where they get caught. Prison. Again, this guy's like, he's like a survivor. Like, he goes from one camp to another, like one prison cell to another. Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if, yeah, I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you're going to jail, you know, like your dad.
Very unsensitive, very sick thing to say. Like, with like trauma from the past, like when a person has a trauma from a past, and if they make joke about that, usually, in my opinion, it's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's like maybe they're coping with it, and you know, it's alright. And you can make jokes about your own like past and shit, or like traumatic experiences if you want to, but I don't think anyone should actually do that unless they can relate, or like very, very close relationship, or like friendship, something like that. So you shouldn't joke around like that's disgusting.
And so now I'm locked in a cage at his whim.
And he makes
and
okay.
I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?"
Yeah, really.
And I was like, yeah, why? You're clearly unwell. And he goes, well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits. Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this.
No shit, dude. You're forced to be in a prison cell for like 100 days. How can you keep up the funnies if it's actually... It's not like you have your PC there and you can just like read email all day and watch content. You don't have anything in this cell.
The thing that made me want to... I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in and And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon.
Dude just barely got, like, finally. Holy shit, you finally fall asleep. You've been trying so hard to fall asleep, and now you finally fall asleep. You have the sweetest sleep you can imagine. The sweetest sleep, and Jimmy goes and just pokes you with the toe, like, hey dude, wake up, dude. You sleeping? Not anymore. I have 2 briefcases, dude. One is 10K for you, and the other one is for the challenge. Now you gotta run. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to run across the block and make it back here, or you are not gonna get any money. If you don't make it back, you are gonna lose all your money, and you get everything that's inside this briefcase, which is nothing.
You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is, and you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. People who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, you know?
So, it's not always a joke when you hear TV shows and other kind of media saying that the writers are being tortured and underpaid. This guy is a living proof that he's being tortured and underpaid.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know? And if I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, you know, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing.
This is the most disgusting behavior, and this can be in many workplaces as well. It doesn't always need to be a torture chamber for Mr.Beast, but it can just be your cubicle, which is also a torture chamber in a way. And I've also had a manager who was in this way. And I had to go after workday. My workday ended at 5, but because we had like a deadline, like a few days, then I was like, yeah, it's 5 o'clock, I'm gonna go. And my boss was just like, well, he was cursing and he was like, well, I guess the whole project is messed up then. I guess we're not gonna do it then. And I was like, I stood up and I was like, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. And I just went home and that's about it. And I just came to work the next day, and I didn't care about that. And I heard that he was actually staying late, but I was like, I ain't getting paid for this shit, so I'm just gonna go, because I was also an intern, so I was underpaid anyways. And I was like, well, sounds like a you problem. And yeah, I didn't let them get to me.
And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash.
I can understand all that.
At 12. And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, it's all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just.
This is heavy. I was expecting more sing-a-song kind of fun, you know, mishmash of clips, like the first video, like how messed up everything is. But this is like next level. Like you're actually hearing like a horror movie survivor essentially. Like it's like someone who escaped the Saw factory and came back and was like talking about his experience, because you're already nutrition depraved, sleep depraved. And Jimbo comes in and makes you run like a hamster in a wheel. And if you don't make it before he comes back, you ain't gonna get shit.
I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, you know, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. Like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you gotta pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work. And they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there. Everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost.
Well, that's usually what happens when you leave a company. No one cares after a very short time. Oh, he was cool. And no one knows why. And usually the people who stay in the company are gonna talk shit about you. So you have no way to defend yourself, and the higher ups who didn't like you or made you go. whatever, depends on the situation. I'm just gonna, you know, talk about how they did everything okay and how, you know, this guy wasn't actually doing this or that, or whatever, you know. Until no one cares that you were there anyways, so pretty cool.
And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys gonna keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine.
Which
so
wasn't?
I, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And they brought, it's like they brought it on my friends, you know, to make it, they brought it on people I liked. And Jimmy. Then everybody was around me making sure I was good, making sure I was okay.
Yeah, just to get away from all the legal shit that may have been, or like may come later. So just probably sign some papers that you're okay with this mental abuse.
He was sitting in the chair, turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up, he does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. He's like, "Oh, stop! You're gonna make me cry." And he like touches his eye or whatever, as if he's crying. He's just. I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. Your mental health's the most important thing. You know, I just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is. I can almost hear the word "Sue" come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out.
Yeah, because you could easily sue for millions at that point. And if you yeah, that's crazy. You probably should go to jail for that, not just lose money.
He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change,
I think he's truly a sociopath. Holy shit, dude. At least you got some money. This dude could have just like sued them and gotten so much more, and they were probably held accountable for that as well.
In 2021, I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And haven't been back on a Beast Sept in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks.
Welcome, Challenger. We have now perfected our torture chambers for you. I mean, taxes are taxes, but the suckiest part of that is that Mr.Beast didn't even cover the taxes or that.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out.
This should be held accountable. Who knows, who cares about you? The whole thing was so effed. And honestly, F them for not giving you the money. Wishing the best. Alright, I mean, this guy should have sued, but I understand why he didn't. They settled, but he could have sued. I think that he should still be able to sue though. I don't know how the US law works. If there's proof, then he could sue still. Hope you're doing well, man. The video did is money. Holy shit, we tortured you and this shit slaps, bro. It is bad idea. Like, bro, it's literally like a torture chamber and you just want to go for round 2, and they did, apparently, so.
Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production.
How to succeed in MrBeast Production, let's see.
18, there's a paragraph called No does not mean no. Already insane.
This is like some supermarket sales tactic. This is like going to a broken car salesman dealership or something like that. No does not mean no. This is some Wolf of Wall Street level shit of just trying to manipulate people into just saying yes eventually. You tire them out until they agree. This is also manipulation. This is against free will. That literally doesn't mean shit. It's just written very, very in a very interesting way. It's like AG guy was writing this concept. Like, in a way, you should be like not just you know, give up after like the first like refusal, then you just like, you know, well, but it's like you talk with the manager, right? You don't go to a store and just ask a random clerk, hey, can we do this shit here? You should start from the head up, from the corporation, and you just say like, hey, we want to do some project, are you interested, you know? And then, well, no is no, then, you know, all right. But this sounds like some very high level, like pushy sales, aggressive sales tactic that we are going to this clerk who works at the store, and we ask them, and then we go and we build up from there, and until we get yes, 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 and then we do this shit. Pushing through no, that's not how it works.
So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And
like if you go to a store or like a manager and you just say like, we're gonna do that no matter what, and they're like no, and you're like, no, what do you mean no? We are MrBeast, holy shit, we wanna buy your entire store. We don't care that many other people wanna shop here as well. We don't care that you are having a stock that comes in like a week or two. We don't care about that. We want this now. We want to do this now, right? You understand what I mean? Oh, you know, now I pay. I pay. I give you money. I don't care, you know? No, I don't give a shit. What do you mean? No.
And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what?
Exactly. That's manipulation. And this is making the other people very pressurized.
What can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but, you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up.
And then they say, you know, it's like, and then they probably say like, yeah, don't worry about that. We are not gonna do any blasts. And then you have MrBeast building a rocket and sending your JPEGs to the moon. You know, it's always easier to hide the agreement. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're not gonna do that, and then you break the rule, and then, oh, okay, fine, all right. We pay a fine, no, that's some.
They're financially incentivized to be manipulative, and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly that, you know. If you go to higher up, like, and, you know, but if you go to a cashier and like, hey, can we do that? And he's like, yeah, because I'm a big fan, and then they lose their job and MrBeast doesn't give a shit. That's not it. That's not it. I don't even understand how like what goes through their mind.
I'll give you a real life example. This is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Aden, North.
That's what I was saying before, actually, when the stream started. That they probably leave behind more trash and debris and all that shit when they are going in with their team. Then they actually even like clean up or do whatever.
So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It. Where at the end of that video, he actually says...
If you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. If you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say.
This is like from the start. They've been saying that for like 100 times now. The main thing is like you say that you do this, you're like this, oh yeah, we're planting trees, we're saving animals and waters and blah blah blah. You all do this kind of shit, like, oh, this whole wholesome shit, you know. But in reality, you just lie all the time, and now it's time where you got caught, and now everyone has the receipts that you haven't done shit, and that's why it's gonna implode.
So in the case of Jake Weddle, like I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't like technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out.
Because of the implication.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid.
Well, we saw that from the Feastables video, basically. The Jimbo energy is actually like... It seems like he can be very kind of scary and intimidating. But it's like he's a little bit awkward that you could see. Like when the people... Like when he doesn't have the control, then it was very easy to see from the... Even from the like the Feastables review with this other YouTuber. That he got like shaky and was like, oh shit, like someone isn't actually, you know... bowing before me when tasting that delicious Feastables chocolate, you know what I'm saying? And the way he was like throwing the chocolate away, alright, you know, it's like very childish behavior, this erratic behavior. It's like, it's very uncomfortable. And if you have like managers or people around you that are like that, it's you shouldn't be with those kind of people.
I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics, you know, rewarded some not great behavior, if you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you know, you can do some things that maybe aren't good but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what this system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And
so, you know, Mr.Beast, Jimbo, he's an excellent businessman, obviously, because he has built this empire and, you know, he's making lots of money. Because of cutting corners, he has actually ruined everything because it now comes out. And that's why it's actually very funny to see when you try to be the kindest person on the internet, or like the savior of the world who can do very cool stuff and, you know, give away money and help people and do everything like that. But it like that's very ironic, because he actually he fakes being so generous, and, you know, you try to be the best and you try to like fix everything with money and all that, but you cut so many corners that you what does the chat say? You love it when the bosses cut corners and ruin their business. I think it's quite funny. Your whole identity is to help people, and you are doing a half-assed job because of greed. Like, what I was trying to say is, like, he works so hard to give away the money, but also he cuts so many corners to save money. So instead of maybe having like smaller goals or ambitions and doing it 100%, he does like 50-50. You know what I mean? Do you understand? I don't know if you understand what I mean, but that's what I mean. I also make no sense.
I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at Mr.Beast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it.
I 100% believe that Mr.Beast has some perfect people, like not perfect people, but like some amazing people working for him. And that's what I was saying before. That's like Blizzard Entertainment or Activision. You have amazing people working there who are being exploited, they're underpaid, and so on, so on, so on. And it's because it's because of the brand, you know, because you are sacrificing yourself because it's cool to work there. He's trying to get everything bigger, which is cool, but you know, it blew up because he didn't cover all the bases. So it's not like he has to clean the site, but just pay some other people to do it then, if you have so much money and if your video makes so much money.
And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do.
Bigger is not always better. That's so true. That's so true. And at some certain point, it doesn't make sense. It's like those videos, like I paid my friend like 1 million cents, like paid $1 million in 1 pennies. I don't know how he escapes this situation. I'm pretty sure he will figure something out. But it gets bad, and it may get even worse when the third part comes out.
I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is cultivated purposefully and intentionally.
Well, that's usually what the case is with people like that, who seem too nice. Well, unfortunately, sadly, I will even say, this has been the reality in many of those cases. When, like, that's why there's been so much internet drama, so many famous people, creators, influencers, and so on. But sadly, for some reason, it has been like that when someone is doing something very nice, then eventually some shit breaks up, like we've seen. Like why we're watching Mr.Beast video, because for many years now, everyone was thinking Mr.Beast is like a perfect person, basically doing everything so right and everything so nice, you know?
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast, just because I was on Beast Hacks, now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just, you know, being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff. Because when I got there, it was like 2019, so I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term, and then they started bringing more people on. You know, maybe they thought they had that under the rug. You know, all right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers. You know, and when I saw it, all that stuff start coming out, and the potentiality, as of this moment of recording. You know, I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, if you're gonna make fun of my dad, I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff.
This is bad, dude. This shit is getting bad.
So, whatever happens at this point.
Outside of it, Chris Tyson, did you really hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course.
Oh shit, disgusting. I came across one of them when I was 16. Damn. Yeah, it's pretty common. It's insanely bad. That's why you need to educate your kids what happens online. Too bad. The main problem is the parents usually don't know enough about the internet, so they don't really know how to defend their kids about the online shit and what kind of predators and sick people are online. But yeah, it's like you need, like, everyone needs to stay safe on internet, and don't dox yourself and don't dox others. And when you're underage and there's someone adult speaking to you, you should report them no matter what.
I heard, you know, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people.
What is going on in the Mr.Beast studios or the headquarters? This is bad, and this will get investigated.
The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. You know, he's very careful about his image.
Well, his image is totally messed up now, huh? It's like this Activision Blizzard shit all over again. You know, the water cooler talk, the frat boy mentality in the office and all that shit. This is insane. Thank God I've never been in a company that has this shit going on, but like it's I can't imagine.
Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. And like you can, you know,
There was some information that was not supposed to leak, I guess.
Someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you know, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on the, that's one thing. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be the rehabilitation in this country. He's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people.
What the holy shit. What's going on in Mr.Beast office? Oh, the headquarters. What the dude. And it doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 11, 15, 16, 17 or 18 or anyone. Like you shouldn't harass anyone. Like what's going on in the, like you go to Mr.Beast office with your kid who has like a bar of Feastables and they're just gonna assault your kid or what the shit.
He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people.
Oh shit.
And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started.
Damn, dude. I mean, dude was people with this is so dumb, but the power-hungry executives and managers are like it's just like cover up and all that. Like
he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender?
Oh, so that's the guy in a mask. Is like a PDF. You have this guy in your videos, and this video is watched by children mainly, and you have some PDFs in your videos, like, and you even hire this guy. Like this guy should be in this cell and like be kept here there.
But when I was there, they called him Delaware. He's like, why do you call him Delaware? And I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware.
What? That makes no sense. And they just have a cute nickname for like a PDF. What the hell? This is nuts.
That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why. Yeah.
Don't ask why. Don't ask questions if you want to work here. Yeah. Holy hell.
The fuck?
Exactly.
Did you know about it? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Like, you need to do background check. You knew.
I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former Mr.Beast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the Mr.Beast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
This shit is like getting extremely, this turned dark so fast, and now we have this like UFO alien voice recordings and shit like that. Like, you know, Shinobi, you ain't gonna sleep today. I'll tell you that. You're gonna be thinking about this voice. Think about Mr. Delaware. Holy shit, dude, this is nuts. Like, wow. Dogpack opened a can of I don't know what here right now.
Because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you really don't do anything in behalf of Jimmy, it's a scenario of some people, yeah, very quickly because all those people are gonna go back. So,
That's what I said. Like, if you have like this dictatorship of like just Mr. Jimmy there being calling all the shots, and if you don't like something or if you mention something, you're gonna be gone super fast, you know. Or Mr.Beast is gonna make a video that I hired someone to take you out for like 1 mil. Can you survive 24 hours? And then, you know, it's bad, you know.
Reed is Mr.Beast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children.
And right now it seems like Mr. Reed was the only person who had some common sense, avoiding this gambling site and letting this PDF go. Can we talk about how the pictures on the right side of the frame all are not straight? I actually did notice that too, dude. What kind of psycho does this? I think it's done on purpose. Look at his hair, he's been researching shit for like a week now. After, like, because this video is 1 week after the last one, so he's been grinding hard getting all the evidence.
Nope.
Week, my man's been cooking. This guy is cooking. I like this guy, you know. He's been cooking hard.
Don't have offenders on payroll.
Wow, a reasonable manager. What should we do with this kind of a manager who actually makes sense? Do not hire PDFs? Maybe we should fire this guy. We were offered a deal with a gambling site. And he's against that. Bad manager.
If somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks, you're not, everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know.
This is always bullshit. Like, if rumors move very, very fast, so you should know who works for you and what happens and goes on in your company. It's not like you're running McDonald's that has like, I don't know, 50,000 buildings or even more. I don't know how many McDonald's buildings are there. Like, of course, then you don't know about every rumor and shit like that. But like, you're just running a small production business, basically. I don't know how many employees Mr.Beast does, but I don't think there's like too many, maybe 100, maybe 200, I don't know. When this guy was hired, they were already like a big corporation by that time, so it doesn't really make sense that you don't know.
I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying, I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company and you know, a company that makes content for children and is around?
Exactly what I was saying. You're making content for children and you have a PDF in your videos as well. And yeah, he's the only person with a mask on, basically. So he's a masked PDF and you are like just hiding the fact. I mean, it's ridiculous in whatever side you look at this shit. Like, it makes no sense at all. Like, think about that. If you have such a large corporation, how can you not do a background check? Because even if you don't have the resources or the HR team to background check, or, you know, background checks also cost money and so on. Bigger corporations are doing that anyways. Like, all their offenses like that, and you know, in the US there's the sex offender platform as well. You can just type in a name and you get the information. It's not rocket science. If you hire someone, you should like do maybe like a Google search and like type the name into all those platforms and see if you can get it's public information. You should get it. There's no excuse not to know. Well, if you run a company, then you're still responsible of what's going on in your company, because in a way you're just hiring people to do and help you for money.
Yeah, just
but you still take responsibility for what happens and what goes on in your company.
Okay, that was my interview with former Mr.Beast employee Jake Weddle. I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
Damn, dude. I feel so bad for this guy. The song feels like he passed away. Dude, he like a part of him died in that prison, dude. He needed to see a psychiatrist. For real, dude. Dude was like broken to the max. Yeah, today's video was kind of amazing. I don't know what to talk about that, so yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.